Hey guys, this is course 2, lesson 2.2. It's prime factorization. This has a lot of notes, so this might be a little bit long of a lesson. So, first, in your notebook, write down some key words. First, we have multiple. And when you think of multiple, you should think of multiply. I want my number to go up. I want it to multiply. A multiple of a number is when you multiply a number by any whole number but 0. So the multiples of 3. So you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and so on. So those are multiples. So you're going to multiply the number. The least common multiple is the multiple that 2 or more numbers have in common. So multiple, think of this word again, multiple. And I want to multiply my numbers. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and so on. And they want me to find the LCM, this is what this is called, the LCM of 3 and 4. So I'm starting with 3, right there I just did 3, and now I need to do 4. So I'm going to do 4, and I'm going to say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then they want, okay, the least common multiple. So what's the first number that they have in common? And that is 12. So the LCM of 3 and 4 equals 12. That's how you'd find the answer to that. The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So try these on your own. Find the LCM of 4 and 10, and find the LCM of 12 and 15. Push pause and then come back and we'll go over them. All right, the LCM of 4 and 10. So what I do is I put a 4 here and 10 here. And then I'm just going to list out my factors. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then for 10, I have 10, 20, 30. And you can stop when you see that you have one in common. So the LCM of 4 and 10 is 20. So you'd write LCM of 4 and 10 equals 20. Okay, our next one is find the LCM of 12 and 15. So I have 12 and 15. So then I'm going to do 12. So I have 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 75, and so on. Oh no, wait, that's 72. Now try 15. So I have 15, 30, 45, 60. So I see that they both have a 60. So my LCM of 12 and 15 is 60. LCM of 12 and 15 equals 60. We will do more examples like this in class, and then we can further explain when you would ever use this. All right, so more terms. Now we're moving on to factor. A whole number that divides into another number evenly, that means there's no remainder. So what are the factors of 12? So factors means that you want to break it up. I don't want to multiply and write 12, 24, 36. I want to break up 12. So some people do factor trees. Some people do those rainbows like this where you have 1 and 12 and 2 and 6 go together and 3 and 4 go together. So these are all my factors of 12. If I wrote them out, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 are all my factors of 12. So now greatest common factor, this is another one. You have LCM and you have GCF. GCF is the greatest common factor between two numbers. So it is the number that the factors all have in common. So find the greatest common factor of 32 and 48. So what you'd do is you'd write out 32 and 48. And you're going to want to write down all the factors of 32. So I kind of like to go in order. So 1 and 32. Well, I know 2 goes into it. So 2 and 16. 3 is 32 divided by 3. So now you might not know off the top of your head. So 3, yes, it goes into there one time. But then if I bring my 2 down, that doesn't go into 2. So that doesn't work. So it doesn't go into 3. So 4, we know off the top of our head is 8. So 4 and 8. 5, no. What about 6? Does 32 go into 6? Yes. No. 6 times 5 is 30. So that doesn't work either. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So let's try 48. So I have 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3. Does 48 go into 3? It goes in once, and then I have 18, and 3 goes into 18 16 times. So 3 and 16, and then 4 and 12, 5, no, 6 and 8, and then I think we're done. So there's all of our factors. That one has quite a few. Now, for the GCF, you're going to look for the one that they have that's the greatest common factor. So you would see that they both have a 16 in common. So 16 is the GCF. GCF, greatest common factor of 32 and 48 equals 16. So try this one on your own. Find the GCF of 16 and 24. Try this one and then hit pause and then we'll go over it. All right, so you're going to write out 16. So my factors of 16 are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 3 does not go into 16, 4 and 4, which I don't want to write twice because you don't need to write 2 4s. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So now I have 24, and I have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 6, no, 3 and 8, sorry, 4 and 6, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Is that it? I think so. So the greatest common factor here is 8. So the GCF of 16 and 24 equals 8. All right. Some couple more terms that you need to put down in your notes is a composite number, which is a whole number that has more than 2 factors. A composite number is a whole number that has more than 2 factors. So like 8. If I were to write out the factors of 8, it'd be 1, 2, 4, and 8. Those factors, it has more than 2, so that's a composite number. Prime number is a whole number with only 2 factors, 1 in itself. So a prime number would be like 7, because when I write it out, I can only do 1 times 7. That's the only thing that goes into it. Or 13. There's lots of prime numbers. Prime factorization is writing a composite number as a product of prime numbers. It's kind of fun. I know I'm a geek, but I love prime factorization. So here's what it is. Making a factor tree to write prime factorization. So you take this number 90, okay? And I'm going to make a tree. So I'm going to branch off of 90 with 2 of its factors. So you could do 3 times 30. You could do 2 times 45. You can do anything you want. So I'm going to do 2 times 45. And then 2 is a prime number because it only has 1 in itself. It doesn't go any farther. So 45 is 5 times 9. You just keep branching off of any number that can be divided up. So 5 cannot. 5 is a prime number, so I leave that alone. So 9 is 3 times 3. So now if you look at this, look at all the ends of your trees. I have a 3, a 3, a 5, and a 2. So what happens is my prime factorization of 90 looks like this. 2 times 5 times 3 times 3. And instead of writing 3 twice, a lot of times people would rather write 2 times 5 times 3 squared. So this is the prime factorization of the number 90. If you took out a calculator and plugged this in, you would get 90. So we will do more of this in class, but come prepared with your notes.